group of blue and green students. So we wanted to preserve this ensemble in some way, shape, or form, being the top group that Grove City has to offer. And the only way to do that, of course, was to have all the students be able to participate and audition for it. So what we did was anybody that was in Symphonic Band last year, which was about 35 or so students, we said, you're back in because your year got cut short. They were doing really well last year. And then we auditioned for the remaining spots out of anybody who wanted to do it from the rest of blue and green. And after that was done, we came up with this group of about 70 students that you see behind me. Of course, the problem is we've never been able to rehearse at school as a full group because we have green and blue band taking place during that time. And even then, it's only half of Symphonic Band that's there at any given moment. So the only chance this group has had to rehearse has been after school. My original plan was we were going to rehearse 2 times a month, the last Tuesday and the first Tuesday. I should not have chose Tuesdays as the day. We lost obviously a few for snow days, and a few other things happened that we had to cancel. So at this point, as of today, we have had 5 rehearsals since December 15th. So that's 13 weeks, and we've had 5 meetings. If you want to put that in terms of school terms, that would be like having 3 weeks to prepare for a concert. If we did nothing but for 3 weeks prepared for tonight, that's about what we had. But that was spaced out over 13 weeks, so think about that. Also, we typically take 6 weeks to prepare for any concert, ever, 6 weeks. So half the time spread out over 3 times what we should have had. Yes, it's been a challenge. But what I think you're going to hear what I know you're going to hear, is some great work that took place up here. A lot of practicing at home alone, where it's not as fun. You know, the power of music happens in the ensemble, we're together. And they had to this year take a different tone to how we prepare for this. Practice at home, learn your part at home. When you come into the room, you just got to be able to play it. We don't have time for you to figure it out in here because the music's too difficult. What they're being asked to play is fairly consistent with what this band plays every year, which is more upper level music and at times collegiate level music. So I wanted to keep that challenge alive and see what happens. It was a big experiment. I had no idea when we started how it was going to go, but hopefully I think you'll hear it tonight, and if you were here last night, you heard it then as well, that they're doing a fine job with what little time they've had. So really it's making music on the fly tonight. You're going to hear not a perfect performance. That's not what it's about. Not every note will be perfect, not every articulation will be in sync. There may even be a small little tempo variation that we have to recover from. That's just going to happen when we're not as rehearsed as we normally are. But what you will witness is how quickly these students can adapt and adjust to problems. Things that maybe have never happened before in the rehearsals we've had may happen tonight, and they have to deal with it in the moment and then move on and be successful. And you're going to hear that tonight. So it's making that music very quickly and adjusting it to each other. Also, by the way, on a brand new stage we never played on until last night. So just lots of variables in the year, of course. So our first tune tonight is Peace Jubilee March. It's a Carl King March. He's an Ohio composer, and it's arranged by our good friend and neighbor here and Grove City resident, Mr. Jim Swearingen. This is our first piece for you tonight, Peace Jubilee. All right, before we do our second piece of the night, I do need to take a few moments of your time. And I don't normally ever do this or talk about this at a concert. In fact, the only two times I've ever done it in my career have been at this night and back in the November when we had our appreciation concert. So if you would just permit me a few minutes to be, how appropriate, a little preachy at you. It is a money talk, it is a fundraising talk, and I want you just to listen to the reality of where we're at, and then we're going to move on. I'm not going to dwell on it, but we do need to be upfront about just where we are. Our band booster group is amazing. There is no question about that. I think we have one of the strongest booster groups in the state, probably in the country, top 10, top 20 in terms of what they do and the kind of money they generate for the students. Our band fees here each year are very low in comparison to many schools of our size and the type of things that we do. Each year, if you don't include band camp, which we consider kind of a trip, yes, that's $320 when we get to go. Take that away and you're left with $140 at the maximum for a uniform fee, an instrument rental fee, and a student band fee. $140. There is a school not even 2 hours away that routinely charges $2,000, $2,100, $2,200 a year for the child to be in band. And we're so proud that we're able to offer this experience, an awesome band program at a fraction of the cost, essentially. And that is because the boosters do an amazing job. It's because you do an amazing job when you go out and work a fundraiser and you get 80% and the boosters see 20%. And that system works, it always has. But this year, obviously, is very different. We have lost over $60,000 this year, just simply because we can't have the fundraisers that we normally have, the bazaars being our two major fundraisers of the year, and we've not been able to have those. So we're doing okay right now financially, we're making by, but if you look at our books, what we have spent and what we have made is about equal. Or we haven't gained anything, in fact we've probably slightly overspent what we've made. And that's okay for now, but that is going to be a problem eventually. Especially when we get into next marching band season. Marching band here is expensive. There's over 200 people, and everything we do, it just costs money. And we don't want it to have to be in fees. We don't want to have to increase fees. That's what we're trying to avoid. We would like to try not to do that if we don't have to. So here's what I'm asking of you to consider. Can your family, and when I say your family, I'm not talking to you, mom, or you, dad, directly, although certainly it could just be you. I'm talking to your family and to your friends, grandparents, relatives. What I'm asking is, can your family, can your team of people come up with $300 total over the next 6 months? That breaks down to $50 a month for 6 months, or a one-time $300 donation. If we got every family in Grove City Band to get on board with this idea, $50 a month for 6 months, we would recoup all of our losses and we would be poised to have a normal financial season next year and do everything that we normally do. And that is our goal. And I think the way to make this work is if you think about it in this way. Yeah, mom and dad, maybe you decide I'm going to help out and I'm going to give $20 a month for the next 6 months to this project. And then maybe grandma and grandpa can give $15 a month for the next 6 months to join that team that you have. Then maybe your neighbor down the road who really supports your family or really enjoys the band or loves music is like, yeah, I'll contribute. I'll give $10 a month for the next 6 months. And right away, that family has done it. They've gotten $50 a month for 6 months for a total of $300, and we will be just fine with that. That's what I'm asking for you to consider. No one's going to be upset if you don't do it. We'll find a way to make do. But the bottom line is, if we don't have the resources, we can't do all the things that we're accustomed to. And that's what we would like to be able to provide. We're so fortunate we're able to provide great things to the kids. Good quality instruments, good staff in the marching season, etc. All of it costs money. One tuba over there, $10,000. It adds up really fast. So I hate to be the fundraising guy. I never like doing that at a concert because it's about the music and we're just so thankful you're here. But I have to be real with you and I have to tell you that this is where we're at and we want to be able to get past this year. Every organization is struggling financially right now. We know this. And we know you are too. We all are. Most every one of us have lost something financially in this time. So I hope you hear it as an earnest expression of this is just where we're at, the band boosters, where our program is at financially. And if we can get 200 families to get on board with this idea of $50 a month for 6 months, everything will be fine for us next season, and it will be like this never happened this year. and it'll make up for those bazaars and other things. So thank you for listening to that. Please think on that, and sometime in the next couple weeks, if you can make that decision to join this project, we would so appreciate it. The way to do that is to go onto our website and enroll in the All Set program. We talked about that in November when we had our appreciation concert. The All Set is right on the website, gchsbands.org. Big button right in the middle, join the All Set program, and from there you can sign up either on a monthly or a one-time donation. So please consider that. We would thank you so much for your effort in that way, and of course thank you for everything that you do to support us anyway. Sorry that we have to ask for more. This is not like us, but times are very different. So thank you very much. We'll get right back to the concert. Our next piece is going to be a piece by Rossano Galante called The River Seneca. A lot like West Highland Sojourn, it's a piece that kind of depicts an image. It's a river, a piece that basically depicts a river in New York and how it flows through the mountains and in and out. And there's just a lot of imagery in the piece. I think I have chosen the Galante piece as one of our first tunes in Symphonic Band almost every single year. Really because it's fun to listen to. It kind of has a movie-esque quality to it, like a soundtrack. And it has something for everybody that challenges them as a player. It's a good teaching piece of music. It goes through a ton of different key signatures. It has like 5, 6, 7 different things happening all at once, which is complicated to deal with, and the kids do a nice job. So this is The River Seneca by Rossano Galante. All right, normally at this time in our program at what we call the Winter Band Concert, which is what this is essentially, we would be honoring and recognizing all of the students who received an excellent or a superior rating at the OMEA Solo Ensemble Contest. Of course, this year, for those who are participating, we know that the deadline to turn that in is basically just right around the corner here. Students turned stuff into us last week, and then we're submitting stuff to OMEA on Saturday. From there, we'll go off digitally to an adjudicator somewhere in the state who will watch the video that the students have recorded who participated this year. They'll get feedback and a rating just like a normal event. And then what we'll do, of course, at our next concert in the spring later this year is we will honor and recognize those students and have their names displayed in the program like we normally do. One of the big reasons why Grove City's band has been such a strong program for so long is that we have a wonderful representation of students at Solo Ensemble. It is the single greatest way to improve yourself as an individual musician and also as an ensemble one by going in a small ensemble of some kind. Each year, we normally have close to 100 events that take place on that day. And we typically have over 40 events that are Class A, that's the top class, that receive a superior rating. And that really is an amazing accomplishment each year. We're saddened that we couldn't have a traditional solo ensemble this year, but thankful we could still do the virtual one. And to the students that participated, we're very excited for them. We look forward to getting back to a normal solo ensemble next year, and we'll recognize again those students at our next concert. All right, moving on, we're going to get to our final piece of the night. This is El Camino Real. It's a very feisty kind of Spanish piece of music. You're going to hear typical Spanish rhythms and little Spanish trumpet calls that happen throughout the piece. In the middle of the movement, you're going to hear the sounds of a strumming guitar. If you've ever been down to San Antonio in the Riverwalk and you've seen the musicians kind of traveling down there and singing and playing instruments, it's supposed to kind of capture that essential feeling. And then the last third of the piece is just a really big party. It's a lot of fun. This is a workhorse of a piece, a piece that Symphonic has played before several times. Quite difficult and challenging to play, but also very fun to listen to and also fun to play as well. We've enjoyed working on it. We hope that you enjoy it as well. This is Alfred Reed's El Camino Real. Thank you. Isn't that peaceful? It's just a party. Thanks for being here tonight. We just appreciate you coming out to this concert and seeing us. Just great to give a live concert again indoors. So we're going to clean things up. We're going to ask all the kids to kind of help us just stack and rack our chairs here real quick. And as soon as we've got that done, we'll go ahead and dismiss them out of here. But you can help us out by just starting to exit out the door so we can take care of the cleanup and get that done quickly. We have asked that all percussionists from both groups, meet us back at Grove City High School as soon as we're done loading to unload. It should take about 5 minutes, and we'll get people out of here. Thank you again. Have a great night.